I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. So today, as it is the beginning of November, I need to do my wrap up of October. So I have read a total of 13 books. It seems a lot, but for me it's not. I usually read between like 10 and 20 depending on the month. So 13 is my normal amount of books in a month. But I have read 11 physical books, I think, yeah, 11 physical books, which is a lot, but yeah. We'll start by the beginning. I have so many things to talk about, but I wrote everything in my notebook to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, so the first book I have finished in October is an audiobook. It's Anne Boleyn, A King's Obsession by Alison Ware. So in September I read Catherine of Aragon. So basically it's a series that go through the 6 wives of Henry VIII, and the one I have listened to this month is the second book. We follow the story of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII. We follow her as a young teenager and we see her grow up to become the King's Obsession. After listening to the book about Catherine of Aragon, I hated Anne Boleyn because in the book made her seem like this crazy ass woman. I still do. I still hate her. I think she used the king to become the queen and make changes, but it backfired. But yeah, it was still a great read. I might feel a little bit bad about her because she got her head cut when she was still pretty young. It's sad, but you know, sometimes when you do things it backfires and you get stuck with some problems. But yeah, I'll probably read the third book in November. We'll see how it goes. I'm not feeling that much into audiobooks right now, so we'll have to see. The second book I have finished is Keeping Faith by Jodi Picoult. This book follows the story of a little girl, Faith, who is saying she's seeing God. The world has all kinds of reactions to that. I mean, I don't believe in God, so when someone's saying that she's seeing God, I wouldn't believe her. But yeah, I think that for me this book was way too religious. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I didn't realize it was a religious book until I realized that Keeping Faith was like religious. I really pushed hard to finish it. I did. But yeah, it wasn't for me. I still gave it 3 stars because I think it's pretty good. So I mean, the writing is good. The story is not for me. I'll read another Jodi Picoult eventually. She's not a no-go for me. I love her writing, so we'll see. But next time I'm gonna read the blurb before I start reading it to make sure it's not religious. Then I have read The Murder Stone by Louise Penny. This is the 4th book in the Armand Gamache series. It's my least favorite, so yeah, it takes too long before the murder happens and then you just go from there, and yeah, it's not my favorite. I have not much to say about it. It's not bad, it's good, but just, yeah, not for me, unfortunately. I'll still read the series because I think it's a really good. Yeah, okay. And then we have Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. I already talked about this in the vlog. I finally read this after having it on my shelves for years. But yeah, the story we follow, I forgot the name, Dana, a black woman who goes back in time to help one of her ancestors, a white planter. The writing was spectacular. I get why she's that popular. But yeah, the story, why is it always that when someone goes back in time, it's to help someone with health issues? I'm just tired of reading about this. But yeah, it was okay. I love the writing. I'll try to read other books by her, but just the story wasn't for me. I gave it 4 stars, so pretty good, because for me the writing is the most important thing in the book. So yeah, when I love the writing, the rest is okay. Then I finished another audiobook. It was The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. So I'm gonna read to you the blurb. It happens at the start of every November, the Scorpio races. Riders attempt to keep hold of their water horses long enough to make it to the finish line. Some riders live, others dive. At the age 19, Sean Kendrick is the returning champion. He is a young man of few words, and if he has any fears, he keeps them buried deep where no one else can see them. Puck Connolly is different. She never meant to ride in the Scorpio races, but fate hasn't given her much of a chance. So she enters the competition, the first girl ever to do so. She is in no way prepared for what is going to happen. I really love that book. Like, I think it's amazing. I'll try to find a physical copy eventually and reread it. But yeah, the writing is good, the story is good, there's nothing wrong with this book, so 5 stars. And then another physical book, we have Where Dreams Begin by Lisa Kleypas. So basically in this book we follow the story of Zachary Bronson, who doesn't have a noble title. He was born poor and he's now super rich, but no title. Then he meets Lady Holly Taylor, who has lost her husband. He asked her to come teach him and his family the ways of society because she's a lady and he doesn't have a title. And yeah, he falls in love with her, she falls in love with him, they get married and blah blah blah. It was a good story, a fast read, the writing was good, pretty, like, a good story. 4 stars from me, which is good. And then we have a book that I really loved. I keep talking about it. It's the last time, I swear. Ferris Wheel Stories by C.P. Cabanis. Just such a good writing. I'll read you the blurb so you know what this is about. When you're already dead, why should you be afraid? When Ruby dies, she finds a Ferris wheel waiting to carry her into worlds beyond her imagination. With the help of Damon, a fellow soul, on the path through the afterlife, Ruby travels the worlds of the wheel on a journey of discovery and redemption. Just a 5 stars. I have nothing more to add. You should read it. That's all. Then I did 2 rereads. So I have Incendie and Anima by Wajimu Awad. These are for my master thesis. So I was just getting back into it by reading them. 5 stars. This one has not been translated. This one has. It's called Scorched. It's really dark. A lot of trigger warnings. So just make sure you look at the trigger warnings before you attempt those reads. So these were like 2 really fast reads. And then I did another reread, which is weird because I never do rereads, but I did 3 this month and I'm currently doing a reread of another book. So crazy. But this time it was A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. It was published in 2021. I read it as an ebook from my library because I didn't want to buy the hardback, and I finally got the paperback. The story is, I'll read the blurb to you. Nesta Archeron has always been quick to anger and slow to forgive, and since the war she has struggled to find her place at the strange and deadly Night Court. The person who ignites Nesta's temper more than any other is the winged warrior Cassian, but that isn't the only thing he ignites. And when Cassian and Nesta are forced to train in battle together, sparks become flame. As war looms again, Nesta and Cassian must fight monsters from within and without if they are to survive. But the ultimate risk will be searching for acceptance and healing in each other's arms. It was good. 5 stars for me. Yeah, I have nothing to add. Like, if you don't know this series, it's A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's really good, and just like it's different because this time is about Nesta, And yeah, I think she's great. So another 5 stars, another reread. And then we have The Secret Life of Writers by Guillaume Musso. He is a French writer, so I read it in French. It's called La vie secrète des écrivains. I'll read the blurb to you. So in 1999, after publishing 3 cult novels, celebrated author Nathan Follis announces the end of his writing career and withdraws to Beaumont, a wild and beautiful island off the Mediterranean coast. In 2018, as Follis' novels continues to captivate readers, Mathilde Mooney, a young Swiss journalist, arrives on the island, determined to unlock the writer's secrets, and secures his first interview in 20 years. That same day, a woman's body is discovered on the beach. So that was 4 stars for me. It's a thriller, basically. That's what Guillaume Musso writes. I love his writing. The story was okay, though. I wasn't that into it. It's still a 4 stars, pretty good. Good thing is that it has been translated, so you can read it. Again, The Secret Life of Writers. Just a good Guillaume Musso again. He's really good. You should read him. I don't read a lot of French literature, but Guillaume Musso is a good one. Then we have Sweet Revenge by Lindsay Sands. I hate this cover. Like, you can't even read the title. But anyway, that was published in 2000. This is a new edition. The first one was way prettier, but I bought it used. So I'll read the blurb to you. Her brother's near mortal wounding hadn't done it. Fleeing to the rolling hills of the Highlands had failed as well. And while being captured by the most dangerous looking Scotsman she'd ever imagined had come close, it was tearing up at 2 of the thickest, most muscled ties she'd ever seen that drove Kyla over the edge. But the madness that overwhelmed her felt strangely like desire. It warmed places she never known existed. Knit, even should the most handsome gallant MacDonald sweep her up and marry her, she would still be sworn to return and destroy her enemies. Yet if she could enlist the fierce warrior's aid. The Scottish laird had claimed that the sweetest dish of all was never served cold. Tonight she'd see if he was right. So basically we follow the story of Kyla. She's fleeing her brother's wife. The wife tried to kill her and the brother, and she's in Scotland. So I mean, you've heard the blurb. Like, it's just a lot of sexual tension. But yeah, it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't that good, and I'm finding that I don't really enjoy Lindsay Sands' writing. We'll see. I have another book by her that I want to read, so we'll see how it goes. But so far, like, she's not one of my favorite historical romance writer. The last one, finally, is The First Mistake by Cindy Jones. This is the cover. I got this from a Goodread giveaway, so it's a thriller, a bad one. I'll read the blurb to you. The wife, for Alice, life has never been better. With her second husband, she has a successful business, 2 children, and a beautiful house. Her husband. Alice knows that life could have been different if her first husband had lived, but Nathan's arrival into her life gave her back the happiness she craved. Her best friend. When Alice met Beth, her best friend, it was the icing on the cake, a friend without judgment to celebrate and commiserate with. But soon she begins to wonder whether her trust has been misplaced. It's a thriller, a domestic thriller. It was bad. It was bad. Like, there's no way a woman can go through that much in life. Like, it's impossible. Like, come on. I'm not gonna give you the spoiler, but it's just impossible. It just doesn't make sense. So I gave it 2 stars. I'm just happy it was a free book, because otherwise I would have been pissed. It was just bad. But yeah, a good reading month. 11 physical books that In total, it was 13 books, 10 by women and 3 in French. It's a lot of books. And it makes it the total of the year to 173 books. So I'll probably made it to 200 books read in 2022. That's less than I read last year. I think I was at 220 last year. But yeah, it has been a strange year, so we'll see. But still have 2 months to go through. So if I want to make it to 200 books, I need to read 27 books in the last 2 months of the year. So we'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. Thank you for following me and listening to me talk about all of these books. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.